What's going on, everybody, and welcome on in to episode 283 of the Garage Beers podcast, brought to you proudly here on the OBR streaming network, the Orange and Brown Report, Cleveland's oldest and largest Browns independent coverage site. Make sure you get over to the OBR.com and hit subscribe. And whether you're watching us on YouTube, Twitch, wherever, make sure you hit follow, make sure you hit like. It is the best Browns coverage in Cleveland. And then as a bonus, you get to come talk Browns, Guardians, Ohio State football, college football in general, and so much more with us here on Wednesday nights on the Garage Beers podcast. So we're so glad you're here. We're so glad you're joining us as we've got a big time show, a ton of stuff to cover. We got a decisive game 3 coming for the Guardians. We're going to talk about that. We got a quarterback change for the Browns and then a London game. So we'll talk about how that's going to go. We've got all kinds of action in college football, including a game Joey was at, Ohio State and Washington. We'll talk about all that and so much more. So, again, we're glad you're here. We're glad you're hanging out, and buckle up because it's going to be a great show. With you, as always, I am Mike. Immediately over here to my right is, or left, I guess. I don't know which way you are here. But I got Joey, and then down at the bottom, it's Chad. Guys, big show tonight. Lots going on.
First off, let's get to the most important topic. The Jordan Kuminga saga is finally over. Let's go. Oh my God.
What'd he do?
Instead of a 3-year, which he hated, a 3-year contract, which he hated, he just turned it down. He said, I don't want to think about it. That doesn't show commitment to me. He goes, you know what? I'll sign a 2-year deal instead.
Oh,
that's it.
You got him.
Yeah.
Dude, that's called business savvy.
Yeah.
Business savvy. I didn't like the one deal. Give me a worse one. Yes.
I choose business ethics. Guys, you remember that micro impression of Ray Romano I did a while back?
Yeah.
I think I just perfected another one over the weekend, and it's a good one, I think. It's Jason Statham. I think I got a Jason Statham down now. But the key is, ask me, hey, Chad, what'd you think of the Browns game this past Sunday?
What'd you think of the Browns game this past Sunday, Chad?
That's so good.
That's so good.
Yeah.
What a great.
That's so good.
Micro impressions. That's what it's all about. You know, I don't need these long diatribes. It's just, hey, Chad, Jason, what'd you think of the Browns this past week?
Dude, I have to tell you.
I don't know.
No, you can't go further than the micro impression. You just got to call it right there. Look, Pat Shea in the comments. Bam. Nailed it. That was and you look like him a bit. Probably outside of the fact that my Aggies won the game at Notre Dame that I went to, I cannot tell you the joy that I felt in my bones when they wheeled out Lou Holtz, and I just got to see him, and all I could think about, Chad, in my head was your impression of Lou Holtz, and I was like, oh, that's so good.
There he is. It's Chad.
Texas A&M. That was me, actually. It wasn't Lou Holtz. It was me. They're wheeling out on the field in Lou Holtz costume. I'll tell you what, this Texas A&M Aggies, they're a tough football team, but they're gonna roll right over Notre Dame. But the Fighting Irish are gonna be up. They're gonna put up a good fight. I mean, these Aggies are great. They're not Catholic, which I don't love, but
this is all we're doing.
That's it.
You're doing micro impressions the whole show. No, that's Chad, I love that you're perfecting that. Joe, man, we are on the brink. We're going to talk about it a lot. Again, we're going to talk about the Browns and the Buckeyes and college football and the NFL and all that. But we're going to talk about, we're on the brink of the Cleveland Guardians flying out to Seattle tomorrow. We're on the brink of that.
If
Joe,
anybody has ticket hookups, let me know.
Are you creaming your yeah, tons of Seattle Mariners
They're
ticket hookups here.
so much money. They're like $250, like lowest on Game Time and TickPick and all those sites. And damn, but they're on the cusp, man. They're on the cusp, and we will welcome them here. And maybe I'll get a beer with the team tomorrow. Who knows? Friday.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, listen, a lot of stuff to get to. Just us hanging out in the garage. We had some potential special guests lined up, but when the Guardians won today, the schedule for those guests got very crazy. And so we're just hanging out in the garage, which is awesome because you're here with us, and we'll bring you in. If you're joining us live tonight, we'll bring you in the comments. So let's start things off with our favorite segment of the week, and let's do our garage beers of the week. where we send it around and talk about what beers we're drinking here tonight, like our buddy Drew in Brick City, who warmed up with just a handful of Busch Heavy. Like, I love that it's always a handful with Drew. It's never just like a Busch Heavy. It's a handful of Busch Heavy. And now for Garage Beers, our buddy Drew drinking a Mad Elf, getting the Christmas beers going already, which is awesome. But be like Drew. Get in the comments. Tell us what you're drinking. Joe, start us off. What are you drinking?
I got a beer my wife found that I just had a sip of, and it was delicious. I don't know if this has been on here before, but Speculoos cookie butter beer.
The hell?
This I feel like this is right up your alley, Mike.
Okay.
It looks like beer. Tastes like cookie butter. Imperial Golden File. Golden Ale. Ha!
Whoa,
With,
there's
toasted
those
coconut,
Golden
vanilla
File.
beans, and natural flavors. Not Golden File, Golden Ale. It's a tough font to read, boys.
Kind of like ale, but file.
Yeah,
Correct. Yeah.
but it's
You know,
it's got a little 9.5%. I don't.
and
Really
apparently
go into
that's
the sweet-
Joe's fourth one.
Yeah, I don't really go into the sweet beers too often, so here we are.
The Golden File
You
was what
want
I found.
to go outside, watch me kick my ass?
All right, cookie butter beer for Joe. That's awesome. Chad, what are you drinking?
Boys, I'm going garage drink tonight. I'm going booze. I'm just doing a nice, refreshing mule here in the Copper Cup. A little Tito's, a little
Yeah,
Barrett's ginger beer, and some lime juice, and I'm good to go, and I'm off and running.
Off and running. Let's freaking go. Yeah, we don't discriminate here. We do garage beers. We've had garage wine. What wasn't it? U.S. Olympic legend speed skater Bonnie Blair just came on with like a bottle of wine and just smashed it with us. We do wine. Channing Frye does wines when he comes on with us. We do mixed drinks. So we don't discriminate, like our buddy Chef Brian K in the comments, who's got one, is it a third of a Bud Light, do you think he's saying? Or 1 to 3 Bud Lights, maybe? I don't know what that's going to say. But what I was drawn to is the half gallon of Jim Beam. Attaboy. Attaboy with the half gallon of Jim
That's
Beam.
good. That's
called
well stocked. Well stocked.
That's called a Mississippi Boilermaker.
Yeah, hell yeah, it is. I want to know, we've got a name in the comments that I haven't seen, so we're so happy he's here. Philip and Philip wanted to know what's the best Brit beer to support the Browns this week. What's the best British beer to support the Browns? We got to know.
Okay.
Like a Samuel Smith, like like an old Samuel Smith British beer.
I can't say I know British beers that well.
The red speckled hen,
Nope.
right?
All right.
I know Boddington's
Boddington's, fair.
is Rolling Rock's not a British beer. No, never mind.
Oh, I'm so stupid. By the way, Chef Brian K said, "Oh, the Browns are 1 and 3." He's got a 1 and 3 Bud Light for the Browns, and then a half gallon of Jim Beam.
I like the 1 to 3 Bud Lights though. Just kind of they're available.
Yeah, correct. It's I've got 1 to 3, and it's a guessing game. It's anybody's guess.
Hey, ask me if I know British beers.
Hey, do you know British beers? Oh man, this makes me feel stupid. Newcastle Brown Ale.
Oh, Jesus.
That's my team. That's my team, Newcastle. Big
Great
Champions League. They won 4-0 in the Champions League today. That was awesome. Smoked the team that I'd never heard of. All right, bring it around to me. Again, if you're drinking, keep throwing them in the comments. But I decided, I saw this at the grocery store. Thought it looked real interesting. Self-mummification for Masthead. Love Masthead.
Nice.
Love the brewery downtown Cleveland. Great spot. Good pizza. Good place.
Fun name.
And I think it's like a Halloween kind of themed IPA, self-mummification, right? Wouldn't we take it that way? And then when I read it, it's just a lot about testament to the sacrifice we're willing to make in the pursuit of hoppiness. I don't know. It's 8.5%.
What kind of sacrifice you making?
What sacrifice? You're just making beers.
You're making beer. It sounds great.
And there it is. There it is. It's a good one. Not super hazy. Oh, wow. That's like that's really good. It's like a mix of like a West Coast and like a hazy IPA.
Damn, what a shame. It sounds like they're bitching about making beer though.
No, Masthead's great though. Like
They're great.
I'm not going to
But
talk
don't-
shit about Masthead.
You're just making sacrifices to make beer. Come on.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Just Googled it. Was it Phil? So, I mean, if you're around,
Yeah.
the best British beer, if you're looking at it, Beavertown Brewery is apparently the best British beer around. Robert
Damn.
Legendary rock singer Robert Plant's son is the head brewmaster and founder of Beaverton. Beaverton Brewery.
Steve Plant.
Right. No, it's Logan, actually.
All right.
Yeah, his most popular beer is being the beautiful neck oil.
The neck oil?
Neck oil. It's both flavorful and refreshing. Yes, it's a full sale. It's like a Heineken of the London area.
Neck oil.
All right, those are our garage beers of the week. You guys keep telling us what you're drinking tonight in the comments, and let's jump into episode 283 of the Garage Beers podcast. And we're going to start again. We're going to get to the Browns in a bit. We're going to get to college football in a bit. We're going to start with the Cleveland freaking Guardians. Let's just do a catch up first, boys. Let's do a catch up before we get to where we're at right now. Since we spoke last, Wednesday of last week, the Cleveland Guardians, we were on here, we were talking to Steve Phillips. The Guardians were about to win their second game of that series against Detroit to really give themselves a 2-game lead in the division, which they needed because the Guardians, they would go on to finish 2-2 down the stretch. They lost a game to Detroit. They did lose a game to the Rangers, but they would wind up beating the Rangers the last 2 games, including that awesome game. Game 162, where Brian Rocchio just smoked a 3-run homer off the foul pole. Very Francisco Lindor-esque to win this, to win the final game of the season and to officially wrap up I guess they had already wrapped up because Boston beat Detroit, but to officially wrap up history, boys. We talked about it and talked about it and talked about it, but the Cleveland Guardians, after 15 and a half games back, twice during the season, after 11 and a half games back at the start of September, after 9 and a half games back with like 2.5 weeks to play, the Cleveland Guardians win the Central Division for the second year in a row. A feat nobody in the history of baseball has ever accomplished, a comeback of that nature. They come in first place in the division, and boys, it's something that I don't know, man. I don't know that I have words to describe how awesome that run of baseball was for the Cleveland Guardians.
So much has happened in the past week. It's kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Like the meaningful games, and like I will stand by that, like winning a division on 162 is so much more fun than on like 140. Like there's so much stress that leads up to it, but you're playing playoff baseball for weeks in September instead of, just a 3-game series that you might get bounced out of, or a 5-game series in the divisional round. So I feel like the Guardians have already given, us everything that we needed out of the season, given how poorly things were looking for such a long time with this team. But I've never seen a group of guys like so cohesive and with each other and so supportive of each other. And like production comes from literally everybody at the right moment in that lineup. Nobody too much. Nobody's like a consistent producer. But everyone is just stepping up when they need to. And like, it's one of the most fun brands of baseball to watch, minus like 90s Indians.
I mean, yeah. If you can't enjoy a 19-7, 20, whatever the record was since September 1st, if you can't enjoy that, then I don't know what to tell you. You probably should just not be a sports fan anymore, right? Or you should just switch allegiances to your teams, because if you don't enjoy winning baseball, regardless of how they do it, then I don't know. You're probably really fun at parties, but but yeah, it's. And I was thinking about this today, right? Like since 1999, right? Since the Browns came back, I don't think, and the Dolan switched to this younger, they went younger, they went cheap, they went prospects, they went this cheaper brand of baseball. But these young guys that they've had throughout the years, there's nobody that has represented the city of Cleveland better. I don't think I would argue that there's nobody who's represented the city of Cleveland better than the Indians/Guardians. Just a bunch of young, hungry baseball players that are just grinders, right? And in a blue collar city like Cleveland, how can you not appreciate that, right? They're just grinders. They fight. There's no egos. You don't hear about these guys in the offseason until they get back for spring training, and then they just put in the work. They just put in the work. Like, what speaks to Cleveland more than what the Indians and Guardians have been over the last 25 years? Nothing. To me, it has been the Guardians / Indians are the best representation, sports representation of this city of Cleveland.
Yeah.
I think it's a good point. I always kind of hate the conversations comparing the fanhood of Guardians and Browns and Cavs and all that, because it's like they're all Cleveland teams. Why do we have to like throw ourselves in a bucket? And it always drives me nuts when people are like, why do you support the Browns? And I'm like, for the same fucking reason I support the Cavs and the Guardians. What are we talking about here? It's not one or the other, but it's a really good point, Chad. Obviously the Cavs since 2003 were graced with the best player on the planet for a lot of those years. And really, for the majority of the time this century, the Cavs have been a good basketball team, including going into this year, which they're going to be awesome again this year, and I can't wait for it. So they're a team to be proud of, certainly. But I think your point is well taken that for the Guardians to do what they do, they have to work harder than everybody. They have to be the hardest team. I was thinking about it this way just yesterday. They have to be the hardest team that the other team has to play. Like that's for them to win and for them to be successful. That has to be their identity, is whether we win or lose, we've got to be the hardest team for this other team to play. We have to be so fundamentally sound, which is crazy because that's not how it's been in the playoffs so far, but we've got to be so fundamentally sound. We have to be so kind of pesky and annoying, and we've got to take advantage of big moments when they happen. Again, it's something we've talked about a lot with this Guardians team. And this was the story for the Guardians down the stretch, guys. A terrible batting average as a team. Really terrible offensive numbers in total. Whether you want to be like a surface level person and look at batting average, or you want to dive into kind of the deeper numbers, they were bad at kind of all of them, except for, and especially in their run, one of the best teams in baseball at hitting with runners in scoring position, and one of the best teams in baseball at driving in runs with 2 outs. They didn't do a lot of things consistently well offensively, but they were one of the best teams in baseball at those two, like, kind of clutch, annoying things that when you're the other team and you're kind of dominating the game, but the Guardians get one chance and they just consistently take advantage of it. They're just consistently the hardest team other teams have to play. And that is about as big of a compliment as I can give them.
And we haven't had that for like years of like productivity with runners in scoring position and taking advantage of situations where we need to manufacture runs. That has not been the story in any of the recent years we've been in the playoffs. And so, yeah, if you're going to be good at something, be good at scoring when the opportunity presents itself. I think that's a great motto to live by.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, especially when you have the pitching that they do, right? Like they shut you down with their pitching and their bullpen, which it's not quite last year, but it's returning to form as it was, just shutting down the Tigers. But it's got to be annoying, right? They shut you down with their pitching, and then you get chance after chance after chance. I mean, look at the game. I know we'll get to it, but look at the game today. Detroit stranded 22 runners on base today. They had so many chances. Right, and especially you look at that 7th inning, between Tim Herron and Evan Gattis, runners on first and third with 1 out, and they retire the side with no run scored. But then all of a sudden, and you think okay, we'll get them next inning, we'll get runners on base next inning, and you think you have a chance, and all of a sudden they just blow up in the 8th. They have one good inning that just blows this game wide open, and it's over then because this bullpen is going to shut you down. It is. When the Guardians are doing this type of things, they are the most annoying team to play in baseball.
Yeah, and it's been a blast, and I'm gonna for this run, at least until it's all said and done. I always find it hard to have the discussion about banners and hanging banners that don't ultimately get you to the goal. But what they did this year, like this division banner, I think is maybe the most special one since like 1995 when they hung the banner for their first division title in like 1,000 years. This banner that they're going to hang for this division title next year is such a testament to history, to something that's never been done before. And they were the team that did it. And it was unbelievable. So again, basically the way things turned out, the Guardians win the Central Division. The Reds end up beating the Tigers the last game of the year, which means the Reds play the Yankees and the Tigers play the Guardians in the wild card. And boys, we're 2 games in, tied 1-1. Let's talk about these 2 games yesterday. It was Tarik Skubal, and he was, when you see you're going up against Tarik Skubal, even the Guardians, and even though they've won 2 games that Tarik Skubal has pitched over the last couple weeks, you know that basically your pitcher is going to have to go shot for shot with Skubal, and you're going to have to win that game like 1-0, 2-1. That's how that game's going to have to go. I've seen a lot of really good Tarik Skubal outings, boys. That's the best I've ever seen Tarik Skubal. That was frighteningly that's as good of a pitching performance you're going to see anytime, anywhere.
His changeup, like you would see some horrific swings and misses from the righties yesterday, and like I don't know how anyone could even lay off that pitch. Like it is so nasty. It's coming just like his, 97 to 100 mile an hour fastball out of his hand and then drops out left side of the zone just before it crosses home plate. Man, that is he was awesome. Like we talked about him last week. Like you just like can't hate that guy. He's just so good at baseball. He seems like a good dude. Like hate that he pitches for the Tigers, but I got to give kudos to Gavin Williams because every step along the way that Tarik Skubal was good, Gavin Williams was keeping up. He was keeping the team in the game. And like, that's exactly what you needed out of our starter going up against Skubal. And like, we've had the luck on our side 2 out of the past 3 games against Skubal. And obviously, Tuesday didn't fall the way we wanted it to, but like you couldn't ask any more out of Gavin in his performance during that matchup.
I mean, make no mistake about it. I mean, the Guardians, I texted you guys this earlier, but the Guardians didn't win these last 2 games because of against Tarik Skubal because of themselves, right? Tarik Skubal doesn't hike that fucking ball between his legs to first. I mean, the game's over. I mean, Tarik Skubal, I mentally punt every game that Tarik Skubal pitches against us. I mean, and I think you could do that for many teams, right? And
oh yeah,
and I think the reason that he looks so dominant. I mean, he's dominant to begin with, but there aren't many times where he goes 8 2/3, 8 1/3, 8 2/3. Right? It's always 6, 7 innings, and he's 9, 10 strikeouts. It's like, okay, that's a typical Tarik Skubal outing. But when he's still going strong and throwing 100 in the 8th inning, like that, and he still has that changeup going. He's unhittable. I mean, frankly, I'm surprised even at 107 pitches that Hinch took him out, and that we even had a chance to add it in the 9th. But yeah, when I don't know. To me, in my mind, he's always unhittable. So like I go into every game Tarik Skubal pitches against us just thinking that we're gonna lose. I know that's loser mentality to think, but you just need one big hit against him, and that just never comes, it seems, against Skubal. So it's just, I don't know. But I kind of expected yesterday, but the Guardians definitely had their chances.
The truth is, it's Tarik Skubal and Paul Skeens, and then there's a chasm between them and the next guys.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for Paul Skeens, unless Pittsburgh learns how to develop anything around him, he's just going to kind of always feel like he's off to the side. But it's Skubal and Skeens are the 2 best pitchers in baseball. Yeah. And then it is just a chasm. And then you got other great pitchers, but they're not these guys. Tarik Skubal, a lefty chucking 100 with, again, you talked about that changeup, the breaking stuff. And then he's also a bulldog. Like he is a son of a bitch out there, but in a way that you kind of like him. And he's got like, I almost feel like he has, for the most part, like Greg Maddux accuracy. Like he just puts that thing anywhere he wants to, anytime. He's unbelievable. And the Guardians still managed to guards ball their way into a run against him on that high chopper by Arias, where Ramirez beat the throw. It was 1-1. Felt like, okay. I mean, Again, if Skubal leaves the game and you're tied or you're within a run, you feel like, okay, all right, we got a
There's
chance.
a chance. He's got to get him
And
out of the game.
And then they did have a chance. In the bottom of the ninth inning, Jose Ramirez smashes the ball to second base. Javi Baez makes a wild throw. It hits off Ramirez and goes all the way down the line. And with no outs in the ninth inning, Jose Ramirez is standing on third base.
Eighth inning.
And what's that?
Eighth inning. No, it was ninth. Sorry, my bad.
Ninth inning. Yeah, there it was. Still the ninth inning. And then a strikeout.
Hey, Joe, what does your beer say again?
There he is. I think it's a
Slow down,
smile.
Joe, is what it's saying.
You had the strikeout after that, which that's always the worst. When you got to run around third and no outs and the next guy strikes out, it's like, oh, shit. Like, that's the worst possible outcome. You have Manzardo chopping the ball back to the pitcher, and Jose was going on contact. I don't blame Jose. Everybody's wanted to, like, jump on Jose. I'm like, he's one of the greatest base runners in all of baseball, and he has been for a decade. He was going on first contact. It is what it is. He gets thrown out at home, and then obviously the Guardians lose the game. So they fall down 0-1. And here's what statistics say about these wild card series. The wild card 3-game series started in 2022. There have been 12 series up until this year. The team that wins game 1 is 12-0 in those series in the wild card. And as a matter of fact, and this is hilarious based on what's happening this year, but as a matter of fact, only 2 of the 12 series have even gone to the third game. 10 of the 12 series so far since 2012 have been 3-game sweeps. And right now, this year, and we'll talk about the Guardians game today, but the Yankees beat the Red Sox. The Padres beat the Cubs. And so right now, 3 of the 4 series are going to go to that third game. And right now, the Cincinnati Reds are up 2-0 on the Dodgers to start that game. So there's a chance we got a lot of game 3s coming tomorrow. But the main one is going to be Guardians and Tigers. Boys, let's talk about the game today. Bibee was awesome to start. Kind of faltered in the middle innings. Didn't go. I thought Bibee was on pace to go like 8 innings in that game. He was. He had like a swagger about him to start the game that he had been missing most of the year. But kind of throughout the course of the game, it kind of left him a little bit. He kind of started to lose his control. He was nitpicking. I love the story Zach Meisel told on the Selby is Godcast, where he and Joey Cantillo had the conversation about the fuck you fastball.
Yeah.
He was throwing it. He was throwing it to start this game, and then he kind of went away from it, and he was like nitpicking and trying to work his way around things. And again, first inning, you had the Valera homer, and then really the Tigers pitching staff for the next 6.5 innings basically locked down the Guardians. They were basically the way this game went, guys. Every Tigers at bat felt like it took 35 minutes, and every Guardians at bat felt like it took 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's how this game went. It would be like, whoo, the Guardians worked their way out of trouble. Bibee worked his way out of trouble. The Tigers left more runners stranded. The Guardians are coming up to bat, and then it would just be like, and there's 3 outs, and the Guardians are coming back out into the field. And that is how the game went for the Guardians. Obviously, the big story, though, guys, coming into this game, 3 rookies in the starting lineup, including the Major League Baseball debut for Chase DeLauter. Guys, give me your reaction. When you saw DeLauter, because it kind of felt like it came out of nowhere a little bit when it started to get reported a couple days ago that DeLauter was going to make the postseason roster. When you saw that he was going to make the postseason roster, and then today when you saw him in the starting lineup in center field, what's the reaction there? What's the reaction?
It's a Guards ball, baby. We have not had like Angel Martinez has been outside of Kwan has been the only like reliable starter in the outfield. You've had Kafis that's been splitting time at first. You had Nojo, which just don't play this series or this postseason, please. Jonathan Rodriguez, who is a defensive liability. John Kennedy Noel, who's a defensive liability unless he's throwing the ball. Like, there's not like anything solid there. So, like, yeah, if we can bring in somebody that won't be a defensive liability, foreshadowing, but that could be solid in center field or right field. Please go for it. Like, we haven't gotten to this point of the season with our starting, 25-man roster from the beginning of the year. Like, this is all a lot of new blood in this team, and like, just keep it going. If they're feeling good about Chase, then I trust Steven Vogt on that.
I loved it. I mean, it's center field kind of threw me off a little bit.
Yeah.
But I was hopefully expecting him maybe in right field, because Chase doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that with the speed to play center field. But from batting wise, I loved it. You took a chance, right? You need some power. You need some pop in the lineup, right? What do we always talk about? Pitching and home runs are key in the playoffs in baseball. And Chase has a lot of power. He has a lot of power. And if he was able to get a hold of one, with one swing, he could turn the game around. So I loved the risk of it all. Now, when he dropped that ball in the first inning, I was like, maybe this wasn't so good. But the idea of it at first, I got really excited, even with him being a rookie.
I mean, he made up for it with the most polarizing play of the game just a couple of minutes later with his throw to third. I forget who was running, but his throw to the third that got challenged by Steven Vogt, and the runner was out at home because they didn't cross home before the tag was applied. Roses and thorns with this performance today.
For sure.
Like, overall,
I think it was very roses. I think there was one thorn, and it was that drop catch in the outfield. And of course, first batter of the game smashes one out to center field.
Second batter.
Was it the second batter? Whatever it was.
Whatever
it was. Drills one out to center field, dead ass into the sun. And DeLauder just can't play it in the sun. He loses it a little bit, and then he drops it. I will tell you this: if we can go to that play for a minute again, it was the biggest play of the game. It was the play where the Tigers took. They were about to take the lead. Guardians were up 1-0 after the Valera homer, and then the Tigers on a base hit looked like they were going to score 2 runs, and DeLauder comes up firing to third base on a ground ball up the middle, and he gets the runner at third base. And like you said, Joe, the tag was applied before the runner crossed home plate. So not only is that the third out of the inning, but it wipes off what would have been the go-ahead run in the game. It felt like such a huge moment. And I'm going to be really honest with you guys. I'm going to be really honest. I watched that replay 100 times. I, as a Guardians fan, think they got that so right. If I was a Tigers fan, I'd be fucking pissed.
Yeah.
I tried to be objective on it. As I watched it, I go, the throw definitely beat him, but I don't know if the tag beat that. I don't think we ever got a really good look on whether that right hand was really on the base or not.
Yeah, because you couldn't tell if it was going behind the bag or if it was couching the side of it.
Yeah, oh baby, if that happened to the Guardians, I would be livid.
It's possible there's another angle.
I guess.
I will say, and take this as you will, MLB posted images and their electronic rendering of the field of the play, and I feel like they wouldn't do that if they got the call wrong. Maybe there was some other angle that was not seen, but how rare for the MLB to post a close play like that got challenged and overturned. Makes me feel like they probably got it right, but I'm also not convinced looking at the replay.
Oh, yeah. It's sports video 101, right? You're never going to show a play that you were dead wrong on. Right. So in this situation, they figured I know working Cavs games and whatnot, if a replay is not in the Cavs' favor, we are not showing it.
Correct.
But they probably figured they would get some backlash from Tiger fans. So that's probably why they posted it.
So that kept it a tie game. And just to go back to Chase DeLauder a minute. Yeah, the drop was bad. Made a couple nice plays in the outfield. It was not an easy day to play the outfield, especially center field, looking dead into the sun. And that wind was howling out there, a 30-mile-an-hour wind coming in from right field. You could tell everybody was having trouble on pop-ups, catching the ball. Jose almost missed one in foul territory because it was blowing away from him. It was difficult out there. But I will say, I think DeLauder overall, all I will say is his ass better be in that lineup tomorrow, because his first at bat for a rookie making his major league debut in the playoffs. And again, Drew brings it up here. 6th rookie to make his MLB debut in the postseason. DeLauder, first ever for the Guardians. DeLauder, that first at bat was the most impressive thing. It was more impressive to me than the throw.
So is
Because he went up there, he fell behind in the count, and then just worked a walk. And I went, after watching what we watched yesterday, and listen, I love when Big Christmas gets a hold of a baseball. But watching the misery that was Big Christmas yesterday, I don't think he didn't swing at a pitch yesterday. I said it on Twitter. I think it's my favorite tweet of all time. I think if Tarek Skubal tried to pick somebody off at second base, John Kenzie would have swung.
Yeah.
Like he swung at everything after watching Jonathan Rodriguez just swinging at just reaching, just no patience, not letting anything happen, come to him, anything. For a kid making his debut, his first at bat to just work a walk like that, I went, oh, okay. First things first, that's beautiful. I know he got out. I think he grounded out his second time up. But then that last at bat for him, the laser beam that he hit a ball 111 miles an hour that just went to the center fielder, unfortunately. But I saw so much out of Chase DeLauder that I went, oh, this dude is a star. Like, this guy's a star. He needs to be in the lineup every day for the rest of the next 10 years if we could make that happen.
Yeah.
Like that.
He can
Enjoy
be,
him.
and then you still got John Kenzie as like the pinch hitter threat, which he still is, albeit like, I don't want to see him in the lineup every day right now. I like the move with Kafis at first, and to him and Manzardo between DH and first. Like, that's great. Other outfield, Valera is probably the best option right now. Angel has been a little on the cold side. Like, today's lineup just felt good, and it felt good like before the beginning. Like, it felt like the right lineup for where this team's at today.
Yeah, I am perfectly good with them just trotting that same lineup. Maybe they want to put DeLauder at DH and put Kafis out in right field and start Manzardo at first. That's cool. Again, you're going to go up against a righty again tomorrow, and so you'll have the lefties in there. Or maybe they just want to roll it back out.
Did Kafis play first in Columbus?
Yeah, they worked on him.
You did? Okay.
He is, I think he's far and away our best defensive first baseman. So, every time they put Noel at first base, I'm like, no, please don't.
Yeah, it's not working.
But in any case, tied 1-1. Again, every Detroit at bat takes 30 minutes. Every Guardians at bat takes 2 minutes. And that's how it happened until the 8th inning. And boys, this is what makes this team special when they're going right. It's not just Jose Ramirez. It's not just Steven Kwan. It's not just the couple guys. Brian Rocchio in the playoffs is just an unbelievable thing. And really, he's been very good since he's been back for what he is. But Brian Rocchio stepping up in the 8th inning and he turned on 100-mile-an-hour fastball like it was nothing.
He ripped it.
Monster home run from Rocchio. Then you get Kwan finally hitting a line drive. Kwan popped up every at-bat in this game, and then he just mashed a line drive double. Schneemann hits a line drive double to bring in Kwan. And then after Ramirez was intentionally walked, Bo Naylor, man. Bo Naylor has been such a key to this run for the Guardians lately, and he hits a ball off the end of his bat. And
that home run was more impressive to me than Rocchio.
Well,
but
listen, Rocchio's was awesome because he got all of it and turned on it, and it was beautiful. Bo Naylor, his body got out ahead of the ball, but then he kept his bat back and just flipped the barrel head at it, hit it almost off the end of the bat, and it got out into the wind into right field for a 3-run homer. Unbelievable.
So Bo's hitting on the season. I know we're in the playoffs now, but like what 193 to 200 somewhere around that range. Yep. You would say he's better than what that record states, right? Offensively,
I would say for a lot of this season he wasn't, but I would say
right now,
I would say certainly the last month and a half he's been.
So he's better than his record states.
Correct.
We're gonna get into this again.
We're gonna get. Just wanted to hear you say that.
We're gonna get into this again.
That's not. Oh, yeah, right. Like that's
Keep going. Keep
Comparison.
going.
This is a
Keep
little
going.
callback to our Atlanta Braves. conversation
Get into it.
weeks ago.
Get into it right now.
So you might be better than what your record states.
Get into it.
It's a long season, my friend.
You can look better than your record states. First of all, a record and a batting average are not the same thing.
Exactly the same thing.
They're not the same thing. They're not at all the same thing.
It's your win rate against hitting the ball.
Ooh, I love it, Joe. Keep going.
It is a season's worth of things versus how a guy is playing right now.
Sure. Yep. It sure is a season's worth of things, just like a win-loss record.
No, yeah, but if my win-loss record is bad at the end of a season, I was bad.
Was Bo Naylor bad at the end of the season?
No, but that's not the same as a win-loss record because Bo Naylor's still playing baseball.
Mike,
And Bo
get
Naylor-
mad. Get real
Bo-
mad, Mike. Get mad.
And Bo Naylor has gotten better over the course of the season, which a team can do, which is fine. But in the end, their win-loss record determines how good they were on the season. Whereas a player can show improvement to be like, oh, all right, like maybe going into next year, I've got a better player. Like you can't look back on a team and be like, they were better than their record because you're not better than your record. You can't be.
Don't give up, Joe. Don't give up.
You can't be.
Don't give up.
I'm not going to give up, but I don't think you won. So we can move on from this because nobody knows what we're
Oh,
talking about.
yeah, I knew it. All right. So anyways, the Guardians put up a 5 spot in the 8th inning. Cade Smith lightly closes the door. That was not fun. Cade lost everything in that inning, but
Lightly
still,
closes the door.
Oh, I think Vogt overmanaged that part of it. Like I didn't think he needed to bring Cade in the 8th, but
Well,
because
it's all right.
he lost it in the 9th. But hey, we won, so it doesn't fucking matter.
That's it. So the Cleveland Guardians tied 1-1. And here's the situation for tomorrow. As far as just the scheduling goes, if the Cincinnati Reds hang on and win this game against the Dodgers, then the Guardians are playing at 1:08 again tomorrow afternoon. If
God, please don't.
if the Cincinnati Reds lose to the Dodgers and the Dodgers finish up that series and go on to play the Phillies, then the Guardians will play at 3:08 and they'll just kind of push all the games back an hour just to get everything into like primetime mode. So that's at least the option for the Guardians at this point is either 3:08 or 1:08. That's when they're going to play tomorrow. But it's going to be Slade Ciccone. It's going to be John Flaherty. It's going to be this Tigers offense that has not been good for the second half of the season. And it's going to be probably a lot of young guys out there again for the Cleveland Guardians looking to move on to the ALDS, trying to punch a ticket out to Seattle. And boys, something about this game and the way it went, something about the life that they showed, and something about the way they're just trusting these kids. I think it's going to rejuvenate kind of everything. I think Stephen Kwan's going to get rejuvenated because he hasn't been very good lately. But man, I saw a good at bat out of him that last at bat. I think Jose is going to feel a little bit rejuvenated. I think DeLauder being in that lineup and Manzardo, and all of a sudden there's some punch and some pop, and Valera's got some punch and pop and all that. And boys, I think at the end of the day tomorrow, I think we're talking about the Guardians going out to Seattle. But I want to talk. But I want to talk about this real quick. I want to bring up one thing.
Hey.
I think you guys tell me if I'm off base. Maybe I'm being emotional about it. But this game tomorrow matters a lot. Not just for the sake of the fact that if you lose, you go home, and if you win, you move on. Because obviously that is already, it doesn't need to be said. But it also matters, and you can say you don't care, but you will care eventually. It also matters that you have the opportunity to take the final say away from the Detroit Tigers. Because no matter what happens, we will be able to move on forever. And we should. I'm not saying we shouldn't. We should always celebrate the accomplishment that was the AL Central Division Championship in 2025 for the Cleveland Guardians, because it was historic and no team's ever done it the way they did it. But if they lose to the Tigers, then the Tigers, Detroit, they're always going to be able to say, yeah, but who got the last laugh? Who won in the playoffs? Who knocked you out of the playoffs? When it mattered the most, you can hang your division banner, but we went to the ALDS. I don't want them I don't want them to have that. I don't want them to be able to always come back and say, yeah, but. And I think, honestly, I think if the Guardians beat the Tigers tomorrow, which I think they are going to do, I honestly feel like we should all get an ownership stake in the Tigers. Like that will be as big of an ownership move for one team over the other as you're possibly going to get. I think there's just so much riding on this game. And obviously it starts with moving on in the postseason, but it also just with everything they've accomplished, it just validates it if they win this game tomorrow.
I kind of wish the teams hated each other more because I also don't think they hate each other at all. Maybe they're sick of playing each other so much, but like this is like the ultimate. This is one of the most ultimate like Ohio versus Michigan like battles you could have. Like
it's a grudge match.
It is an absolute grudge match. This is pure bragging rights. This is like the bookend to the storybook of this comeback. And like it lessens the significance of the comeback if they do not win tomorrow. And I totally agree. I think like this is obviously a must-win game, no shit. But like this is like a must-win for pride purposes above just going to the ALDS.
I totally disagree. Like I don't think. I mean, listen, are the Tigers going to go win the World Series?
Doesn't matter though if they can say they knocked the Guardians out of the playoffs.
Are the Tigers going to win the American League Championship Series? Well, I'll even go less than that.
They won't.
Are they going to win the American League?
No.
What banner are they going to hang if they lose in the ALDS next week?
But it doesn't matter because they would still have the ability to be like, yeah, but you didn't move on, we did.
Yeah, but you, Mike, how many times have you complained and bitched and moaned and yelled about this on this podcast about, yeah, you won nothing. You won absolutely nothing.
It's not about what the Tigers win, though. It's Chad. This isn't the discussion. It's not about the Tigers winning the World Series. It's about we're going to always want to talk about this comeback for the Cleveland Guardians, and it's amazing. And we should always talk about it regardless of the outcome. Don't get me wrong, Chad. I'm not saying it makes the whole thing meaningless, but I don't want that other fan base because Joe, you brought it up. Maybe the two teams are okay with each other. But I hate the Detroit Tigers, and I know most Tigers fans hate the Cleveland Guardians. It is a rivalry. I don't want to give those fans the justification to be like, all right, big whoop. You won the Central. We collapsed down the season, but when the 3 games mattered the most, we won the 3 games.
Yeah.
We won the series.
You made history. The Tigers did nothing. Even if they beat you tomorrow, you made history. The Tigers did nothing.
I don't like it.
I'm perfectly okay with I guess I feel so confident in this because I don't think the Tigers are going to win tomorrow. But yeah, you made history. The Tigers didn't. They can't say anything to you because their epic collapse for the division is much more is much more at a level up than winning a 3-game than getting lucky in a 3-game wild card series, especially with the way they're playing, especially with the way the Tigers are playing. It's gonna feel like they're lucky tomorrow if they win. So it's not. No. You can get the last laugh, but in the end, you've won nothing, and we have another division title. That's the way I look at it.
All right. Well, hey, that's the way you look at it. All right. So the matchup again. Jack Flaherty, I guess I hadn't looked at Flaherty's stats. He was so bad this year.
Yeah,
it wasn't good.
Super bad.
He was 8-15 with about a 5 ERA, but he had pitched much better down the stretch. They gave him no run support. So he lost a lot of games that he pitched well, including against the Guardians. He's pitched very well the last couple times they've played each other. But it's Jack Flaherty against Slade Cecconi, and Slade Cecconi has been either rock solid dominant or hideously bad. And that has been the story of Slade Cecconi. I think he's been more good than bad all year. But the Guardians are going to need very good Slade Cecconi tomorrow, and they're going to need their offense to come out and make Jack Flaherty look like the Jack Flaherty that lost double the amount of games that he won this year. In Cleveland tomorrow, one game for everything. Boys, how do you see it going? Give your prediction for tomorrow's game.
You know,
I
with
think
the,
it's going to
oh,
be
go
a
ahead.
short leash on all the starters tomorrow. I think Slade maybe goes 3 innings tops. At like tops, like he'd be gone in the third. I think that this is going to come down to a wild finish. Like it's not going to be without drama tomorrow. I think there's going to be a little more offense than what we've seen in the past couple games. And I think the Guards win 5-3.
Yeah, normally with Slade Ciccone on the mound, like, you know, I would be a little scared because he has been so up and down. But for the fortunate thing for the Guardians is you're playing an offense that's like not even slightly, but has been like way more inept than you've been down the stretch over this run. So it's an offense that just cannot bring runners in from scoring position. So I think Slade is good enough. Yeah, like you said, Joey, maybe 3, 4, 5 innings max. Like I don't see him doing more than that. And then the rest, and then this bullpen is I feel like is just going to shut this shut this rest of this Tigers lineup down as they've done for the last month. Yeah, and I think the Guardians do just enough. You know, I think it's a 3-1, 3-2, 4-2 Guardians win tomorrow.
I think the Guardians started something today that they're going to continue tomorrow, and I don't know if they're going to be able to continue it in Seattle, but I think the Guardians are going to jump on Flaherty early. Jack Flaherty, not a great postseason performer. He's been in a bunch of postseason games, 2-5 over his career, a 5.5 ERA in his postseason performances. Jack Flaherty tends to not pitch very well in the postseason. Doesn't mean he won't pitch well tomorrow, but I think the Cleveland Guardians are just going to continue the run they went on yesterday. I hope they trot out a very similar lineup. I want to see Kefis out there. I want to see DeLauder out there. I want to see Manzardo out there. I want to see these guys out there. And I think, again, it's going to start early. I think the Guardians are going to jump out to a lead. I think they're going to win the game like 7-2. That's where I think this game is going for the Cleveland Guardians because I think they are going to get the offense moving a little bit more tomorrow. And I think they're punching their ticket. And I think they're leaving immediately after the game. That's what Jim Rosenhaus told me today. They leave the minute the game's over and they go to the airport to get on a plane to Seattle. And I think we're going to have it. And then I think we're going to have a very fun conversation. We may even need to do like an emergency, like 20-minute episode on Guards Seattle.
Yeah, because we would, if we go to the DS, we're not going to broadcast until if there's a game 5.
Right. Correct. No. First game would be Saturday.
Oh no, it'd be game 4. The night of game 4, it would be.
Yeah. All right.
Which is
so
optional.
Yeah. Yeah. I this has been awesome. And the Guardians, no matter what, the Guardians are going to be the first team that play tomorrow, the Guardians and the Tigers. So no matter what else happens, if the Guardians beat the Tigers this year in this game, they'll be the first team in the wild card era to lose game 1 and win the series. And I love that too. Let's just keep making history with this Guardians team. And I absolutely think they're going to do it. So awesome stuff, big time stuff. We'll find out again. The Reds still beating the Dodgers. So again, if that happens, if the Reds win tonight, the Guardians will be back on at 108 tomorrow. If the Reds lose, it'll be Guardians and the Detroit Tigers at 308 tomorrow. And yeah, it's awesome. This is awesome. All right, boys, let's go into really quickly. Let's just do a very quick, 5-minute breakdown of the rest of the MLB playoffs based on how we're watching them, guys. So again, on the American League side, the top 2 seeds, the Toronto Blue Jays are the 1 seed. Seattle Mariners are the 2 seed. Those are the teams with the byes. The other division series in the AL, New York and Boston. Boston went to New York and got a big win yesterday, but New York bounced back and got a big win tonight. So Boston and New York. It's one of the few series where I don't like the just 3 home games for the wild card team. Because I feel like when Boston and New York play, you got to have a game at Fenway. You got to have one game at Fenway. But, man, Boston played well to get into the playoffs. New York's been one of the hottest teams lately with the Guardians. I don't know. Just your thoughts on that series and how that's gone and what you expect tomorrow.
Man, I think if Scooball didn't pitch how he did on Tuesday, I would have said Crochet's performance on Tuesday was like the best pitching performance I've ever seen. Like he was a man on a mission, just mowing down the Yankees. The Yankees are a liability to only themselves. Like they're the only team that can get in their own way. I think they can beat any team in this playoff. But I think that if they are not sound and fundamental on defense, which they looked actually pretty good today.
Yeah.
That's going to be what wins or lose them in the game tomorrow. But I think the Yankees are ultimately going to pull out on top in that series.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of go harken back to what Steve Phillips said, right? You just at any moment you can wait for that Yankees to get that big knock just to turn the game around, and it's I don't know. Now that they've tied the series, I just feel like I just have that feeling tomorrow that it's going to be a close game all the way through. Then in like the 7th or 8th inning, like Judge or Stanton or Grisham or someone's going to get a big 3-run bomb to blow the game wide open in the 7th or in the late innings. And then pull away. But Boston is scrappy. That Rafaela is a player. He is. I mean, he hit one to the warning track tonight that almost went out to end the game. So they are scrappy. I don't count Boston out, but this has all the makings of like a late inning heroic like home run from the Yankees.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Yankees probably move on. I think they're a little deeper in the pitching staff than Boston is, even though Crochet is amazing at the top of that line or at the top of that rotation. But again, all 3 games at home, I find it hard to think that Boston's going to go in and win 2 out of 3. So I think the Yankees are going to take that. On the other side, top 2 seeds, the best record in baseball belongs to the Milwaukee Brewers. And then the other team with a bye, the Philadelphia Phillies, 2 really good teams. Now, the Brewers have been awesome all year. The Phillies, though, so good. So good. Going on right now is this Reds and Dodgers series, but the series happening in Chicago, the Cubs and the Padres. The Cubs went out and won game 1 yesterday. The Padres came back and got them. I think it was 3-0 today that the Padres won. I'm going to be really honest with you. That's a series. I have no idea what's going to happen in game 3 in that series tomorrow between the Cubs and the Padres.
No,
I mean, you just got to kind of pick where the Padres are going to lose this year because they're going to lose every year because they're the Padres and they just can't win shit. But man, the Cubs look. I don't know. The Cubs are a solid team, and I feel like they're more. No, they're not more anything than the Padres. They're just 2 really good teams, man. I mean, like I'm just going to pick the Cubs because I got a hunch. But
you could tell me any outcome for this game, and I would believe you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could tell me either team won by 30, and I'd be like, oh, yeah, I guess I buy that.
Yeah.
Or you could tell me it's a 1-run game that's a walk-off in the bottom of the 9th, and I'd be like, yeah, I get that too. Like, there's no outcome in this game that I'm not believing.
Yeah. Like, do you have a coin? Because I want to flip it right now because that's who I'd pick. It's very similar teams, both with star talent on them, both with similar bullpens, both with. I mean, these teams are the same. So it's just going to be a battle till the end.
I'm going to pick the Cubs because I want to see the winner of that series is going to go play Milwaukee. And there's just going to be a natural rivalry between 2 teams that are only separated by like 90 miles. And they're in the same division like the Guardians and the Tigers. And I'd rather watch that series than the Padres and the Brewers. Like, frankly, I'd just rather watch the bad blood between the Cubs and the Brewers.
Sweep them. The Brewers will sweep them.
So I'm going to pick the Cubs, but again, you could tell me anything there and I would buy it. Right now, the LA Dodgers are trailing the Cincinnati Reds 2-1. Reds took an early lead. Dodgers feel like they're just chipping back into it. But just what do you think is going to happen in the series, guys?
I think the Dodgers are going to take this. They're just kind of toying with the Reds.
Yeah.
They're just kind of playing with their kill right now. It'll be like 2 innings, and it's going to be 5-2 Dodgers.
Yeah, I mean the Dodgers have been figuring out, especially towards the end of the season here, and that there's just too mumuch star power for the Reds to hang on. So I mean, even if the Reds win tonight, I think the Dodgers take Game 3. So I think the Dodgers will take this.
I feel pretty comfortable saying that I think the Guardians are going to be playing at 3:08 tomorrow. I think the Dodgers are going to wrap this series up tonight, even though the Reds got off to a good start. And listen, shout out to the Reds.
Good for them.
We'll get to their situation in a minute. But I do think the Dodgers will move on. And what a freaking! I was talking to my buddy. I got a buddy that's a big Philly guy, one of my favorite people. And I said, what a motherfuck of a consolation prize. You wrap up the 2 seed as the Phillies, and your prize is going to be the Dodgers. Shit. And the Phillies, I think the Phillies are a better team, but like the Dodgers very easily could go win the World Series again this year. I don't think anybody doubts that. So yeah, again, it's going to be really interesting. And by the time we do this next week, we're going to be well into the division series, and hopefully we're going to be talking about the Guardians and the Seattle Mariners, and a very tall task for the Cleveland Guardians, because that is a bear of a Seattle Mariners team. They pitch well, they hit well. Obviously, Josh Naylor has been such a stud for them, but then adding Eugenio Suarez and Julio Rodriguez out there in center field, and I mean, they are and I didn't even bring up Cal Raleigh and his 60 home runs from the catcher spot. They're an absolute bear. But you know what?
Team of destiny. Team of destiny.
I don't know if they're ready for guards ball. I don't know if they're ready for guards.
You know what beats a good offense? Good pitching.
Guards ball.
Right.
Guards ball and good pitching.
God's plan. Guards ball.
All right, that's going to do it for baseball talk. Let's go into our middle segment of the week here, and let's do our asshole of the week, where we just call somebody, something, a group, an organization, whatever out, or just an individual person for just being an asshole this last week. So, boys, I think you have both been like tandem talking about an asshole of the week this week. So why don't you guys lead us off with the asshole of the week?
Do you want to start, Chad?
I mean, I have 2, so you can take.
Right.
I mean, you can take the one we were talking about.
The motherfucking MLB man with these 10:05 PST starts for 2 consecutive games in the middle of the week. There's no reason. This was my asshole of the week last year. This is a repeat asshole of the week. There's no reason this needs to happen. The NFL does games in tandem.
Yes.
The NBA does games in tandem.
Yes.
Starting at primetime slots. Why are we doing games in the daytime? When sun's a factor? Sun's not a factor in the postseason. Come on. Why is sun a factor in the postseason?
There should be
We're
2
past the
405
equinox,
games.
damn it.
There should be 2 405 games and 2 705 games.
Yeah, or stagger them. Do 405 and 430 that like gets you off or whatever. Just figure it out. Don't do these day games. Everyone's working.
Yeah.
Chad,
And
I know-
also, from the stadium perspective, that takes away from people getting there on time. Kids are in school now. People are working. And so it's like, you got to take a half day to go to the game, and you get there in the second inning now. And it's just not playoff baseball.
I was going to do a follow-up to this because I knew you guys were going to talk about it. But the people that are like calling out Cleveland for being like, oh, there's some empty seats in the upper deck. Don't be an asshole. The game's at 1 o'clock. I got to work, man. Like, I can't just go to the game.
We just found out about this Sunday.
Yeah, right. That's the other thing. Like, the game,
Right.
we just found out about it. And here's the other thing. Especially in a series against Detroit, a night game, Detroit fans would find a way to like make their way to a night game to fill up the stadium a little more.
Right.
They're coming to 1 o'clock games in the
Nope.
afternoon.
No.
They just
No
found out
one
about it
is.
last week.
No one is.
The fact that there are 26,000 people in that stadium at 1:08 in the afternoon, I think is a fucking testament to Cleveland. And the fact that it's loud as hell in that stadium, I think is a testament to Cleveland, as it looks like we'll see. Oh my God, Max Muncy's going to try to score from first on a double.
We did.
And it looks like the Dodgers just tied things up. I think it's an absolute testament to Cleveland. And I think I'm with you. The schedule is bullshit. 108. The only thing I like about 108 is that like I know whether my night is ruined or not by 4 o'clock. I know early.
I
And I
haven't
do
even had my
appreciate
coffee.
that.
Look, I'll put up for it for Browns games because it's the weekend, and it's the weekend. I'm not working. Midday, like I got meetings, like literally the Rocchio home run. I was like in mid conversation with somebody, and I was like crying on the inside, but like trying to talk to this person still. Like it's just like What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
Be,
What do you want me to
be
do?
sure
I
you
gotta
turn
work.
in your TPS report.
What was that, Joe? I'm crying.
This is the best meeting
And now
I've ever
I
been
gotta
in.
wear the same shirt again tomorrow. Like it's just, everyone's gonna know I'm wearing the same shirt again. It's whatever. Fine.
Did you guys ever just update teams and you just get emotional?
Put your shit in Salesforce.
Pretty much, yeah. That's how the conversations go.
I'm just so happy.
Oh God.
I'm just so happy. We had a
Oh.
great first quarter.
Oh God, I love it. All right. Go ahead, Chad. Who's yours?
Ryder Cup fans.
Mhm.
Oh, come on. Yes. What the fuck?
Yeah, like what? Like it's. I understand Ryder Cup is usually like loose, like a looser atmosphere in golf, and you guys like you talk shit to the golfers, but like throwing beers at people's like Europeans' families and like
Wives and kids and shit.
wives and kids, and like it's just that's being an ass. That's taking it too far and being an asshole. So Ryder Cup fans.
Leave it to like the football fan atmosphere, because that it is the most fun thing about the Ryder Cup is like there's the Dodgers lead. It is the most fun thing about the Ryder Cup is that it is not, it doesn't have the same stiff PGA tour. Everybody has to be quiet. Everybody has to. It's fun that like when the golfers make a big putt, they go ballistic and they try to rile the crowd up. It's fun that there's chants and cheers and all that. But leave it to like the drunk ass football crowd in America to like just take it too far.
Right.
Don't take it too far. Just it's cool to just like be part of the fun of it without going crazy. I agree with this 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Man, I had things that I wanted. I had a lot of stuff that I was going to throw out there, but I think I'm going to leave it to one, and I think I'm going to call out the New York Mets for being the asshole of the week. Because you could talk about the historic collapse of the Detroit Tigers and how they had a 15.5 game lead in the division and they lost it, and the Guardians run and all that stuff. But two things. One, in order to surpass the Detroit Tigers, the Guardians had to play the best of any team in baseball, basically. They had to absolutely go off the last month of the season to make it to where they made it. And yes, the Tigers also had to collapse, but they still made the playoffs. They're still playing meaningful baseball. The New York Mets around the All-Star break had the best record in baseball. They were clear. They were running away. Juan Soto on the team now, and not a very good pitching staff, but still just like Pete Alonso and Francisco Lindor and Soto, and like they just have a lineup, man. And not only did they go from around the All-Star break from having the best record in baseball to not making the playoffs, but over that span, obviously multiple teams surpassed them, the Phillies and all that. But like the Cincinnati Reds made the playoffs just ahead of the New York Mets, and the Cincinnati Reds were 40-40 down the stretch, the back half of the year.
Yeah.
They 500'd their way into the playoffs. It wasn't like the Guardians that had to go on like this historic run where for 20 consecutive games, the pitchers didn't give up more than 2 earned runs. And like, it wasn't that. It was the Reds played kind of shitty. 500 baseball.
Yeah.
And they overtook the team that had the best record in baseball when that stretch started. The Mets collapse, I think, personally, is worse than what we saw out of the Detroit Tigers. That going from where they were to just not making the playoffs and having a team not really even have to play all that well to pass you, nah, that is disgusting. And the New York Mets, with the highest payroll in baseball, should be fucking embarrassed. Embarrassed.
Oh damn!
What?
I thought Shohei was about to go yard.
Oh, yeah, he just turned on one. But
Yeah, they should be embarrassed. I mean, it's crazy to see teams like
you can put the Mets and the Dodgers in the same category of just like spending so much money on talent. You have one team that just completely gels and clicks and is just unreal. Then you have the Mets, where it's just
and then
like
there's the Mets.
it's like, how do you assemble talent like that and not be successful and retain your coach?
And then there's Marla Hooch. What a hitter. Yeah. Yes. Another good micro impression. Really solid. Chad does a great Marla Hooch. Yeah, I don't know. They're my asshole of the week. I had other ones. I wanted to call out the umpire from the game yesterday because not only was Tarek Skubal amazing, but man, oh man, did that umpire love Tarek Skubal. Really bad stuff out of the umpire. We're going to go to the Browns for a minute. I wanted to call out Jack Conklin because I've never seen a player have minor injuries keep them out for more weeks than Jack Conklin. And it drives me absolutely up a wall. He's very quickly becoming nobody will ever take over my asshole of the week over Johnny Manziel. But man, oh man, it's Jack Conklin becoming one of my least favorite Browns players because I feel like he just doesn't fight through anything. It's just like, my arm's sore. I'm going to sit out again for the fourth straight week.
Yeah, it's not an injury. It's
Bruh.
not like, torn ligament. It's just elbow soreness.
Yeah. You should stick to rapping and Serpentini car commercials.
In a time where we like desperately need him. And he's just, nah, I'm out. Like, I feel like, I know Joe Thomas isn't dead, but I still think he's rolling over in his grave, watching all the shit that he went through to just have the Iron Man performance that he did. And then to watch a guy like Jack Conklin be like, maybe I'll come back in a couple weeks. I'm going to go fishing this week.
And Joe's coming back with his build. He's playing linebacker.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't know. Those were going to be my assholes. Anyways, let's go to the Browns for a minute. Listen, it was an ugly game in Detroit. The Detroit Lions, if you looked at the final score 34-10, you would think the Detroit Lions just blew the doors off the Browns. But in reality, they didn't. The Browns defense was really good in the game again. And I talked about this on the last show, but the Detroit Lions had, I think, 5 scoring drives, and then they had a punt return for a touchdown. 4 of their 5 scoring drives were 16 yards. So drives that ended in points. Might have been a field goal, might have been a touchdown. But 4 of the 5 scoring drives that the Lions had were 16 yards, 5 yards, 44 yards, and 20 yards, which means that the Browns offense was just giving the ball to the Detroit Lions in position for them to not really even have to go anywhere to score points. They just had to go 20 yards and boom points. And then on top of it, the Browns special team is an embarrassment. They give up a punt return for a touchdown. And again, I think the Browns defense was really good. They didn't really allow anybody to go off in the game, but Detroit didn't have to work for that win, 34-10. And the only thing, now I'm convinced of this, guys, the only thing that can stop the Cleveland Browns defense is the Cleveland Browns offense. A disgusting display of one side of the football just sabotaging the other. And that's what happened in Detroit. Nobody picked the Browns to beat Detroit. Nobody thought the Browns were going to beat Detroit. Detroit is a better football team than the Browns. But man, oh man, when your offense is just going to sabotage your defense, it doesn't even make it fun. It wasn't fun to watch. There was nothing fun to watch about that game. Nothing.
No. And it's just kind of the same old story of just, Joe Flacco having about half a second to make a decision in the pocket and then usually making the wrong decision. Quinshawn looked great again. It's just like nothing like really to write home about how they played on that side of the ball.
You know what's really interesting is they track that stat. They track average time to throw for a quarterback, and Joe Flacco is not in the bottom half of the league in that.
Really?
Like, he's not. It's not to say the Browns' offensive line's been good. It hasn't. But Joe has had a little time. And man, is he not seeing the field. Like, it just is what it is. He's not seeing the field. This is Indianapolis Colts / New York Jets version of Joe Flacco. This is not 2023 Browns Joe Flacco.
What do Thad Lewis, PJ Walker, Deshaun Kaiser, Luke McCown, Cody Kessler, Doug Peterson, Jake Delhomme, Brady Quinn, Robert Griffin III, Nick Mullins, Tyrod Taylor, Jason Campbell, Charlie Fry, and Brandon Whedon have in common?
They all played quarterback for the Browns.
They're all quarterbacks I would rather have than what Joe Flacco was doing out there.
Whoa, you throw Deshaun Kaiser in there?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I would.
Yeah. I mean, the guy, he can't move anymore. He can't, he's just making poor decisions. He's panicking. He's like the gunslinger Joe. Like nothing was working at all. And then to have him like moving out of the pocket, pretending like he doesn't have like 4 grand pianos on his back is insane to me. Yeah, there was just no competent operation of the offense going on at all with Joe Flacco at the helm. So it was 100% time for a change at quarterback. Yeah. So yeah.
Listen, I don't want to be the I told you so guy, but I made a video about this when they signed Joe Flacco. I wasn't happy when they signed Joe Flacco. That you weren't going to get Flacco magic back. It wasn't going to happen. You got the right guy at the right time in the right position who didn't even play as well as people are going to remember him playing.
Yeah.
But people are going to remember him playing well in 2013. And I thought, man, at least we have that fun memory that we can look back on. Now we're going to look back and be like, oh God, it was good. It wasn't great. It wasn't good. So the Cleveland Browns lose to the Lions, which in and of itself I'm not mad about. Like of the first 4 games, it was the number 1 game. If you told me to rank the first 4 games of games I thought they would lose, the Flacco or the Lions game would be the game that I would have put at number 1 of like, yeah, they're definitely going to lose on the road in Detroit to the Detroit Lions. I think most teams could say that. So I'm not in and of itself, I'm not mad about the loss. But the way that they did it, the way that they didn't make Detroit work for that win.
No.
I mean, the defense did what they could, but like, again, when Detroit's starting at the 5, there's not a lot you can do as a defense to try to stop that. Offensively, it's just so disjointed and so bad that the Browns did what they did. And that is they have benched Joe Flacco, and Dylan Gabriel is now officially the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to let the optimistic side of me. I don't know if Dylan Gabriel is going to be any good. I have no idea. He's a 3rd-round quarterback. He's not the biggest dude in the world. He's got a ton of college experience at 3 different big college programs. But I'm going to let myself fall into the fact that, God, one of these times, one of these young guys has to hit. It's the goddamn law of averages that one of these young guys is going to have to hit at some point. I don't know if it's going to be Gabriel. I don't know if it's going to be Shedeur Sanders. I don't know if it's going to be the quarterback they draft in the 1st round next year. But one of these times, it's physically, mentally, emotionally, it is statistically impossible to just never find one.
Can we just not judge that based off of Sunday's game?
I agree.
Because that Vikings defense is gonna run circles around Dylan Gabriel. They're a really good defense.
They're a really good defense.
They're really good. What's their defensive coordinator's name? That's
Brian Flores.
Brian Flores. That's like 6-0 against rookie quarterbacks as a defensive coordinator. Like, it's going to be tricky for Dylan, I think.
The law of averages, and we've been waiting 25 years for that average to come around. Yeah, sure. I mean, can you be optimistic? Yeah, sure. I mean, Dylan Gabriel is a good quarterback, right? I think if he was 6'3", he probably would have been a 1st or 2nd round pick. I think the size is what really kind of held him back. It can't get any worse, guys. I mean, it can't get any worse than what it's been, right? You know, going back to the game for a second, right? You know, the Lions game for a second, you know, you had you had a glimmer of hope, right? They marched right down the field that first drive and scored a touchdown. And then I was like, oh, okay, here we go. Let's go. Maybe we got something cooking. And then they flashed the stat that the Lions have given up a first drive touchdown the last 4 games. I was like, oh,
Yeah, right.
so that's just a thing they do. And then they proceeded to shut down the Browns the rest of the game. Yeah, is Dylan Gabriel going to be good? I don't know. I think so. I mean, if I'm going off of what you saw in college, certainly there's hope. Right? Certainly there's the reason to be optimistic. Will he do it against a really good Vikings defense? I don't know. I mean, and remember, the Vikings are over there. They're already on London time, so they're going to be. They're used to it, ready for it. Adjusted to the time. I mean, that's a big thing.
I'd rather die than listen to this argument ever again.
Hey, listen, but
it's a big thing. The Browns win tonight. They're going to be fine.
The best thing I can say, and the most the pessimistic side of me goes, well, at least they're going to lose before lunchtime over here. That's the thing. So I don't know what to expect from Dylan. I'm hoping for the best, but I have no idea what's going to come of this.
I would rather gouge my own eyeballs out than listen to somebody make an excuse about the goddamn time zone again. That's what these guys do, and it's what they've done in college, and it's what they've done in the pros, and it's what they travel. They go to different time zones they play. Time zones are not an excuse. The Browns left today. They're going to be over there.
Then why do people make the argument that it's so hard to go to the West Coast too?
They're wrong. Good teams win on the look at it. The numbers bear it out. Good teams win on the West Coast, and good teams from the West Coast win on the East Coast. It is fucking stupid. Frankly, I think it's because there's more teams on the East Coast, which means there's more bad teams on the East Coast. And so it looks like the record is worse going that way. It's not the case. It's not the case. It's not that the West Coast is some fortress of, oh, we can't go out there because my sleep patterns are going to be thrown off. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. The Browns are going to be fine. I don't know if they're going to win or not, but if you're going to use the time zones as an excuse, you can keep that shit out of my face. I'm not buying it. It makes no sense. I don't believe it. The time zones are not affecting these guys. Again, these dudes have been doing it since college, and they've been going from East Coast to West Coast to North and South and all that. It's the way it works. There's very little difference between going to London and going to Seattle or San Francisco or LA. It's not that much further. So, like, if we're going to start using that, I just can't. If the Browns lose and I start seeing people going, oh, but the time zone, kiss my ass. Kiss my whole ass. You were there Thursday. Get accustomed on Thursday. Go to sleep early. Get accustomed on Friday again. Go to sleep early. By Saturday, you're good to go.
Yeah, you say that like it's just such an easy thing, Mike.
It is. They're not going to China either. It's not a 17-hour time difference.
All right.
It is easy. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
I don't think you've actually looked up the numbers to this, so I'm researching this right now.
I have looked up the numbers, but you have to look up the numbers with win and loss record, teams that are good, teams that are bad, and then look it up. It's nonsense. It's bullshit. You can look up the Browns record going out west, but guess what? The Browns record going out west is bad. Guess what the Browns record is going north? Bad. Guess what the Browns record is going south? Bad. Guess what the Browns record is going east? Bad. The Browns are just always bad.
While exact overall figures can vary depending on the study's methodology and time frame, data indicates lower win rates for Eastern time zone games when West Coast teams are playing, and higher win rates for Mountain time zone games. There's a little bit more to this than you're thinking.
Lower win rates for Eastern time. So
West coming to East.
It's nonsense. The whole thing's nonsense.
Just saying.
But again, the West Coast teams play more games in the East. Like, they have to come East a lot more than East teams have to go West because there's more teams. There's so many variables that people don't play into it. It's nonsense. Again, if the Browns win, great. If they lose, it's not because of the time zone. It has nothing to do.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm not.
Well, but it's another thing.
I'm not pinning that on like the whole winning or losing thing on the time zone. No,
it's another thing I saw people say, oh, I can't believe they're making this change with the rookie quarterback going overseas. Shut up. He played at Oregon. He's used to this. Like, the dude is used to this. Leave it alone. If he's going to be good, he's going to be good. I agree with the conversation of the Minnesota Vikings defense. They're really good. But I think this is a very real opportunity for the Browns defensively to Cleveland Browns the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, yeah.
Carson Wentz and a torn up Vikings offensive line. Like, that Vikings offensive line, what do they have, 3 starters out on the offensive line?
Yeah, they're banged up front.
If there's, I very much trust Denzel Ward to go ahead and shadow Justin Jefferson. Sure, Justin will get a catch here. He'll get his catches in the game, but there's really nothing else on that Minnesota offense that scares me at all. I honestly think the Cleveland Browns are going to put the offense in a position the way that the Detroit Lions put their offense in a position against the Browns this last week, for the Browns to just go on kind of short, easy drives to score points.
I think whoever wins the turnover battle is going to win this game, because it's going to be 2 not great offenses, and whoever is getting the better field position, the more rest on defense, the more turnovers, like, that team is going to win. Less turnovers.
Yeah, I think I agree with Joe. I think Carson Wentz is a turnover machine.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, especially based on how well Detroit ran the football against the Browns this past week. I don't know. But granted, yes, they do have 3 injured offensive linemen along that front. So it's probably going to be a little easier for the Browns defense. But yeah, I don't know. I wish I had something to go off of with Dillon Gabriel, because I think I'll be able to make my prediction a little bit easier. But yeah, I think the Browns defense is going to come away with a bunch of turnovers and is going to give this offense a bunch of short fields. And I mean, I know one thing, and I'm going to blindly trust Dillon Gabriel to score touchdowns more than I do what Joe Flacco was doing. So fair. Yeah, I think the Browns. I think it's going to be low scoring again, but I think the Browns can win this one. I think the Browns can win this game in like a 17-14 type of game.
Yeah, I think the Browns are going to put up their highest scoring total of the season. I think I agree with you as far as Carson Wentz is just going to be prone to turnovers, but I also don't. The Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs ran for 6 yards a carry. He only ran the ball 15 times.
Pretty good ratio.
It is, but I also think the Lions are the best rushing team, maybe in the NFL outside of the Ravens. I think they're right there with them. But David Montgomery ran the ball 9 times for 12 yards. I don't think the Detroit Lions ran the ball for 3 yards a carry in that game. Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs was good, but they weren't great running the ball against the Browns. It wasn't just hole after hole after hole.
You only need one running back to be good. You don't need the whole committee to be good.
You can't sit there and say the Detroit Lions ran the ball really well against the Browns. Jahmyr Gibbs ran the ball pretty well. The whole rest of the team did not. And they had more carries.
Okay. I mean, regardless, they still ran the ball for over 100 yards. Something I think it's the first team that's done it against the Browns this year.
Yeah, 109 total yards rushing is not some big thing. It's not a big. I don't know, Chet. What are you talking about?
Okay.
109 yards rushing, and we're gonna act like that was the Browns,
compared to what the Browns have done the first 3 weeks. Yeah, that's pretty damn good against this Browns defense.
That it's good against the Browns defense. It's not good in general.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We're fucking nitpicking here. Yeah.
We're not nitpicking. No, we're not. No, we're not. What the fuck are you talking about? Chad? No, we're not. The Detroit Lions didn't come out and just dominate the Browns on the ground. They didn't. They ran for 109 yards. You put that against any other team, and you'd be like, wow, they did pretty well against the Lions. But we're acting like because they gave up 100 yards on the ground to all of them, to David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs and everybody else who ran the ball.
Christ, you're like my wife. You're overreacting to every little
I
thing,
am
dude.
not. You're the one that's overreacting.
You only need one running back to
You're
do
the
well,
one that's
Mike. You don't need the whole fucking
You're the
committee,
one
right?
that's overreacting.
We're sitting here going, oh my God, no, just because Jahmyr Gibbs ran well doesn't mean you got no. You only need one running back to do well. Mike,
You're the one that's overreacting.
No, oh, just because David Montgomery ran for 9 carries for 12 yards, so they didn't do that well. No, Jahmyr Gibbs almost ran for 100 yards on his own.
You're right. That doesn't play in. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. And just because the other running backs only
Montgomery
ran for minimal yardage, right?
Jahmyr
Jahmyr Gibbs did whatever the hell he wanted to against this Browns defense. There, I'm going to piss you off even more. Jahmyr Gibbs did whatever the hell he wanted to against this Browns defense.
No,
he did.
David Montgomery. Oh yeah, don't worry about it. David Montgomery ran for like 175 yards against the Ravens the week before. But no, it's fine. It's cool. The Browns stuffed him, so they were terrible. It is astounding to me, somebody that knows as much about football as you do, is sitting here acting like the Browns somehow had this lapse in the run game by giving up 109 total rushing yards to a team that is known for rushing the ball with a two-headed monster back. It's astounding to me. It's astounding. You know better than that. You know better than that.
Like the Browns don't give up 100-yard rushers. So yeah.
They didn't give up 100-yard rusher.
For fuck's sake. Okay, 9 yards short. Okay, sorry. 9 yards short. Anyway, keep going, Mike. Keep going. Let's go. Let's keep going.
So they still don't give up 100-yard rusher, Chad. Okay, good talk. Glad we had this conversation. I don't know what you're talking about.
Move on.
Yeah, well, I will move on. That's what somebody says when they're ready to leave a conversation that they have lost.
No, this isn't a win or loss thing. Like this isn't like right. This isn't a competition. Like I'm not going to go like, oh shit, I had a bad show. Mike won it. No, this is not. No, it's not a thing. It's not a thing.
You've had an okay show. Your show's been fine. No, listen, offensively, if we go back to this game, I don't, there's nothing about the Vikings running game that has me even thinking twice, especially with their offensive linemen being out. They've got to get to Carson Wentz. Like the problem with the Browns too, the few times they did get to Jared Goff, they committed penalties on those plays. They sacked Jared Goff a couple times and they were offset by penalties. That sucked.
Well, I think Jared Goff. Yeah, go ahead. Well, I suppose I'm wrong on that one too. Yeah, no, I think every time they did pressure Jared Goff did a good job of stepping up in the pocket, moving around in the pocket, and getting rid of the football. So that's what they got to do. Yeah, no, they did. I thought it was more on Jared Goff moving around in the pocket than it was the Browns defense. So
okay,
yeah, I'm just saying. I just want to piss you off even more now. Like I just want a reaction out of you.
Listen,
predictions. What are the predictions, boys?
Go on. Yeah, do the prediction. Go on. London. Go on, Chad. Start us off. London, 9 a.m.
I already said 17-14 Browns.
We get this question from Kid Wilson. Do people drink beer watching Sunday games at 9 a.m.?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What? It's called kegs and eggs.
Yeah, correct. And yes, that's how that's going to go. Joe's going to have to watch it at 6 a.m. and still drink beers.
Ew. I'm going to do 22 to 15 Browns. It's going to be weird. Make it weird.
I like the weirdness. I'm going 27-10 Browns. I'm going 27-10. I don't think this offense is going to do jack shit against the Browns. And I'm going to give a little credit to Dylan Gabriel. I think he's going to run the offense a little bit better. I think he's going to get more guys involved. And look out for some of the guys that, obviously said Tillman out. Look out for some of these other guys. Maybe Jamari Thrash has himself a game. Maybe Jerry Jeudy comes into it a little bit. I just think the Browns are going to step up and play pretty well. And I'm going to give them a multi-score win in this game. And again, I think they got a shot. I think they got a shot to be 3-3 at the end of this 6-game series because I'm not afraid of the Steelers in the slightest either. So
Yeah, catching the football is probably also key to like the Browns being 3-3. That'd be sweet.
It is, but
That'd
like
be cool.
you got to take some good with bad, right? Like everybody's freaking out about Jerry Jeudy. He's almost exactly where he was last year at this time, almost exactly. So maybe we get a new quarterback in that's seeing the field a little bit better, that has a little bit more escapability. Maybe Jack Conklin could get his ass out on the field, especially with a lefty quarterback. We could use a good, solid right tackle, Jack. So maybe your elbow is feeling okay enough to be out on the field for this game, Jack. I do like the pickup of Cam Robinson. They're going to have Gage Larvin back out there. They're going to have Malachi Corley out there. You're going to see some different faces, but I think Isaiah Bond gets involved. I think Jerry Jeudy gets involved, and I think David Njoku actually. I think the tight ends, the Vikings are not well suited to cover tight ends, so I think Njoku and Fannin really get involved, and I think the Browns are going to look decent offensively with Dylan Gabriel at quarterback, and that's what I'm going with. So, all right, really quickly, last thing. I want to go over to college really quickly, Joe, because you went to the Ohio State-Washington game, and I just want to hear it from you. How much fun? How much fun did you have?
Boys, I was baptized into college football on Saturday. What a blast. I got this newspaper when I walked in. It says, how does Washington defense stop Ohio State? They didn't have the answers in this paper, let me tell you. Bam. Oh, it was so fun. I ran solo to the game. I got hammered before the end of the first quarter. Wrote it out for the rest of the game. It was a really good time. The atmosphere at college football is just unreal. Like, just not like any other sporting event that I'd been to. Husky Stadium is really nice. Great fan base there. They put on a great show. It's so fun. Like, it's just electric. Like, everyone's just in it. Everyone's like so passionate about the game and their team. And it was fun. A lot of Ohio State fans there, which was great. I did not sit in the Ohio State fan section. I missed the memo on where that was. So I was completely surrounded by enemies. But I made fans with a nice alumni couple next to me. So that was nice. But such a fun game, dude. Like, the team looked good. They started running the ball well. I will say first 25 minutes of that game was a little nerve-wracking. It didn't seem like we could put anything together on offense. We had some fumbles, some poor special teams play. Washington was looking pretty good on offense. Then second half, the boys just came in and shut it down. So just electric atmosphere, so fun to be at. And I'm so glad that Washington's in the Big Ten, so I can go to future Ohio State games here in Seattle.
I mean, it's a bucket list stadium for a lot of college football fans, is Washington. It's known for its atmosphere. And to get Ohio State there, it had to have been a little crazy. But I agree with you, man. Ohio State pulling it out in the end, getting Jeremiah Smith involved. Defensively, Ohio State was awesome in that game, because there's some really good offensive players for that Washington team that could not get anything going.
Jonah Coleman's kind of a stud.
Oh, yeah. He's a big-time stud.
He's a stud, man. I mean, he was the best part of that Washington offense, and he was taking it to the Ohio State D most of that game. Some really good running from him.
Yeah. Chad, did you pay attention at all to that game?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I thought Washington came out with an interesting game plan. I mean, I was impressed with what they did early, right? Like, Damon Williams Jr. is even though he didn't throw for a lot of yards, I thought he made really good decisions. He was pretty accurate. I mean, he came in completing 73% of his passes, but it's just when it came time to tighten up defensively, Ohio State did just that. And I think Matt Patricia is going to be the best thing to. Eventually is going to be the best thing to happen to this Ohio State defense in a long time, right? Because this is, although it's not a great pass rushing team, he's generating pressure, even though they're not getting home a lot, but he's generating pressure. He's the way he's mixing up coverages in the defensive backfield. I think he is, improving this defense tenfold from what it's been over the last few years, right? And that's allowing, and the best part about that is that good defense is allowing Julian Sand to develop right in front of our eyes, right? I mean,
Yes.
he didn't have a very good like first quarter-ish, but as the game went on, I mean, he lit things up. And then, I mean, and how about Bo Jackson?
He's great, isn't he?
How about Bo Jackson, man? Big physical. I mean, from right here in Northeast Ohio, Villa Angela, St. Joe's.
Yeah.
I mean, he's clearly the running back of the future there. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I love the mix, right? Like in years past, even in the national championship years, it's been a kind of a bend but don't break Ohio State defense. But man, the mix of good but not great just yet, Ohio State offense. And that's because, again, Sayan's still developing, but coupled with the dominant defense that they've had, it's just, I think Ohio State's got a really good shot to go back to back this year.
That was my note for the offense is I wish they put Bo in a little more frequently. Like, I think they're playing a little, they're tandeming that role a little more than I'd like to see. Like, I feel like Bo is kind of the guy.
Yes.
And I feel like they are not having him in for enough snaps for what he's producing right now. And I'd just like to see that uptick a little more for him.
Boys, elsewhere in college football, it was just there was a lot of big matchups in college football this weekend. You had Oregon go to Penn State in the whiteout and beat Penn State. You had this wild game Friday night, that Virginia-Florida State game.
Unreal.
I couldn't take my eyes off of it. Yeah. I left my high school football game and went to the bar just to watch the end of the Florida State-Virginia game. It was unbelievable. Virginia beats Florida State. Everybody thought Florida State, who took out Alabama to start the year, Florida State was back, and the Virginia Cavaliers take down Florida State. Ole Miss over LSU. LSU beat a Clemson team that looked like a really good win to start the year, and then all of a sudden it doesn't look like that good of a win. LSU beats a Florida team that looked like a really good win when it happened, and then it's like, oh, maybe that's not a very good win as they fire their coach. LSU might look like the most overrated team in football, and Ole Miss pretty much dominated LSU. And then how about the bounce back from Bama to go ahead and beat Georgia this week? Just a lot of big storylines. Chad, for you, what's the biggest storyline of this week?
Oh, man, I first off, I think it's Bama. Honestly, I mean, it's the people were declaring that program dead. Now that Saban's gone, and now that they lost all that talent in the transfer portal, people were declaring that program dead. The way Ty Simpson played in that Florida State game, they said no, it's gone. Alabama's is back in 9-3 territory, which is not terrible, by the way, for a big time college program. 9-3 is not bad. I mean, as far as the playoff goes now, that could possibly get you in the playoff. But coming back and beating Georgia between the hedges, in a way that really kind of, I feel like Caleb DeBoer kind of put his stamp on this program in that game, right? Because Georgia had multiple opportunities to take the lead in that game, right? They came out in that second half and they pretty much shut Alabama's offense down, but Alabama's defense stood tough. And can you imagine like the look on Nick Saban's face if a screen pass went out to a 360-pound tackle? Like he would lose his shit. But Caden Proctor, good on you, buddy. I couldn't believe he didn't score. But yeah, I think Bama there, and Ole Miss and LSU, with the way LSU has been playing offense these last couple of weeks, it's almost like you were waiting for that loss to come, right? Because LSU's defense is really good, but once they faced a good offense, you just had a feeling it was coming, right? Because LSU, something's going on in that LSU offensive room. Garrett Nussmeier is looking pedestrian, and they can't move the football against anybody. I mean, hell, they only were able to score 27 points against Troy, for God's sakes.
Yes.
So it's LSU is a fraud to me, and they've been a fraud. It was just a matter of time. And then Oregon and Penn State. I mean, that was a classic. Like, I
Yes.
mean, just throwing haymakers. And I mean, and then Penn State's big game reared its ugly head. Big game Penn State reared its ugly head in double overtime with that interception at the end by Drew, and Oregon comes away with the win. So I mean, it was that was a classic game. Double overtime game. I was glued to my television.
James Franklin he joins my Johnny Manziel perennial perennial weekly asshole of the week.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. Joe, any thoughts on college football?
Fuck that guy.
Nope, didn't watch any of the games.
It is 1,000% not a big week in college football this week. There's a couple big games. Vanderbilt, Alabama. Circle that shit.
Yeah.
Because
what's going on with Vandy, dude?
Yes. And they are beating everybody. And now they have a chance. They've got a chance to prove that they're for real. So Vandy, Alabama, big game this week. Miami, Florida State, always a big game. Again, you think about the classic Miami, Florida State games over the years, the wide lefts and the wide rights and all that. So obviously that's a big one. Ohio State's got Minnesota. Most of the big schools have teams they should beat. There's not a lot of big time matchups in college football this week. So what do you got, Chad?
Keep an eye on that Mississippi State A&M game. it's
at A&M. I think A&M's going to run away with that game.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
I think they're going to run away.
Maybe, but I tell you what, his name's escaping me right now, but the weapons that they got in, Mississippi State's gotten in from that transfer portal. They're a tough cover in the secondary. So if that quarterback for Mississippi State can get time, he can pick you apart. So it's imperative that A&M get pressure. What's his name? Taylor, is that his name?
They'll get pressure. Shapen.
Blake Shapen. That's it. Blake Shapen.
No, I don't disagree that Mississippi State is like they're off to a good start, but they've really, I know they beat Arizona State and everybody's freaking out about it, but they really
should have beat Tennessee too. They should have beat Tennessee last week.
And I don't really know how much I buy into Tennessee. A&M much better offensively than Mississippi State, and also much better defensively than Mississippi State. So
I forgot to talk about my game, man. I was at the Champagne Room in Illinois. That USC Illinois game. Oh my God.
That's a great bounce back win for Illinois, by the way.
Great bounce back win for Illinois. But let me tell you something. That Jaden Mayava and Malachi Lemon for USC are dogs. Are absolute dogs. I mean, when you thought Illinois was gonna run away with it, 2 late fumbles. USC takes the lead late, but Luke Altmaier, man, the savvy veteran, leads them back for a field goal. That was an exciting atmosphere, even though Champaign, Illinois is basically like, you've dropped a big time college in the middle of like fucking North Royal.
Nowhere. Nothing. Nothing around.
All right, boys. College football, Guardians baseball, NFL football. We've had a great time talking. Let's get out of here for tonight's show. We've already gone way longer than we normally go, but let's end it with our cheers of the week. And Chad, why don't you kick it off with your cheer of the week this week?
Well, my cheers goes to Drew Aller because
you're gonna do this
when you have a girlfriend and don't need one. You might as well just be straightforward and honest. So, cheers to you, buddy, for just being just a go-getter, just a straightforward type of guy.
You know what? If you need to look it up, just maybe look up Drew Aller Instagram message.
Yeah, when you don't need one, when you don't need a girlfriend, you obviously know what you want when you get messages from other people. You might as well just be straightforward with it.
Bro. Just
way to go.
Wild.
Way to go.
Got a quote unquote, come through and suck me.
Let me show me what I'm working with.
Oof.
No.
Whoa.
Attaboy.
Yep.
Hey, good friend. Anyways.
Joe.
Give me the Ohio State Buckeyes, man. Give me my first ever college football
Hell
experience.
Hell yeah.
Unforgettable Saturday at Husky Stadium, man. Great time. Just cannot overstate how much of a blast that was.
Dodgers starting to blow the doors off this game. I think it's 4-5-2, something like that. So
Who called it?
Looks
I think I literally called 5-2 in like 2 innings.
looks like it's 5-2 right now. Looks like the Guardians may be playing at 3:08 tomorrow, which is at least a little better.
Thank God.
Man, my cheer of the week, and I think I can't remember if it was one of you two that sent it, but I got to give it to Austin Hedges.
Yes.
Tarek Skubal, of all the walks he has pitched this season, Austin Hedges has basically like 10% of them.
Why can't he pitch to Hedgie?
That is a fucking awesome stat. It's like Austin Hedges has like 10% of all the walks Tarek Skubal threw this entire year. That is awesome.
I don't get that one at all.
Maybe next time he just intentionally walks him to get to Quan.
Hey, Skubal's pitching. Nobody else is going to hit, but God damn it, Hedges getting on base.
His OBS is great against Skubal.
Hedges gets back into the dugout after his Skubal at bats, and he's like, I don't know why you guys are having such a hard time against this guy.
Just don't swing.
He throws 100 out of the zone to me. You guys suck.
You guys are
I will
idiots.
say he throws 2 strikes like it's the Bible and then nibbles a little bit.
Yeah, right. Well, when John Kenzie's up there and swinging at a ball that fucking he could just throw into the club seats, it's up, strike. I didn't even see it, Coach. I didn't even see it.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Austin Hedges, shout out to you for just being apparently
Oof.
the Skubal seer, the seer of the Skubal.
There goes them Dodgers.
There. Oh, God, did they just do it?
7-2.
Oh, yeah, that's over. All right. Guardians 308 tomorrow. I like that. I like that
Thank
better.
the Lord.
One
Like
last
that
thing on college football. Did you guys see this shit that you're talking about going back to the Vandy Alabama game? Did you see that Johnny Manziel's mentoring Diego Paiva, the Vandy quarterback?
Oh, poor
Nope.
kid.
And Diego Paiva is now the eternal asshole of the
Yeah,
league.
exactly.
Oh,
And just quoted as saying, like, I just don't want him to make the same mistakes I did. I was like, is he in trouble? Like, what does he do?
Did you
Are you
coke
are you
before
showing him
games?
what Coke is? Are you showing him what a mountain of Coke is, Tony
Yeah.
Montana?
Oh, hello, him or Dan Lanning. What? Anyway, what?
Oh, right. Well, that's going to do it.
What?
That's going to do it.
Okay, all right.
For episode 283 of the Garage Beers podcast, it's been a great time. We have talked Browns versus Vikings in London. We have got the Buckeyes against Minnesota this week. Not a big deal. And we have got the big game of the week, which is tomorrow. And it looks like it's going to be 308 unless the Reds mount a miraculous comeback. It'll be the Guardians. It'll be the Tigers. Win and move on, lose and go home. I cannot wait for it. I'm a nervous wreck about it, but the Guardians have a chance to send the Tigers packing, and you can't ask for more than that. So we'll be talking about that and so much more. It's been a great time having you on. Big thank you to the OBR streaming network, the OBR, the oldest and largest independent Browns coverage site in all of Cleveland. So make sure if you want the best Browns coverage in all of the land, get over to the OBR.com and hit subscribe there. And make sure you are tuned in to the YouTube, the Twitch, and everywhere else. Get over to the Garage Beers podcast at the Garage Beers on the socials and make sure you're subscribed and following there. And if you don't catch us live, remember you can always catch us either on demand on Twitch or YouTube, or you can get over to Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. A big time thank you goes out to all of those of you that joined us tonight live. I know we went long, but you guys were awesome in the comments. Big shout out to you. And if you join us later, shout out to you as well. That's going to do it for episode 283 of the Garage Beers podcast. For Joey over in Seattle, for Chad down over on the east side of Cleveland, I am Michael Keefe. Go follow the show at the Garage Beers. And until next week, cheers, everybody.